Well, good morning, guys. It is the morning of day 3. I'm just having a couple cups of coffee, a little breakfast, another round of English muffins with some cheese and some dried fruit, and just warming up a little bit, waking up a little bit, and gonna pack everything up. But first, some coffee. The trail starts this morning with a 4-mile climb. We're gonna be going from 5,000 feet all the way up to the Numa Pass at 7,600 feet. So doing about a 2,600 foot elevation gain over the course of 4 miles. So I actually thought this 4-mile climb was gonna be a gradual climb, but I've already gone 2 miles and I've only gone up 500 feet, which means over the next 2 miles, I'm gonna do 2,000 feet, which is not gradual at all. That is very steep. So at least there's only one climb today, and I do believe the downhill portion afterwards will be gradual. At least it's still cool out. I got energy from the coffee still, and I'm gonna go bust out a 2,000 foot climb. So I've reached the Numa Pass, just climbed about 2,100 feet over the last 2 miles, pretty much all down in the forest, just kind of switch back and up the side of the mountain, and just finally broke out of the forest into the wide open plains again. And actually just looking at my maps for the last 3 days, over the past 3 days, I have climbed over 8,000 feet, which is quite significant. This is probably the most amount of climbing I've ever done on a backpacking trip, far more than I did on the Grand Canyon when I climbed from the bottom of the canyon to the top of the South Rim. That was only about 5,000 feet, so significantly past that, and I gotta say, I am glad that the climbing is over. All right, we made it to the lake finally, and it's still sunny out. Perfect. few little cabins here along the lake. Not sure what they're for, but the doors are locked. Might be like supplies and stuff for rangers or whatever. All right, here is campsite for night 3. Got a little view of the lake through the trees, but mostly this was kind of like the most private campsite I could find. But before I set up camp, I've got all my stuff out drying in the sun while it still lasts. Got my tent, my ground sheet, and my rain fly. And then I got some bags up there and some other miscellaneous items out. So just coming down here to the lake to grab my water for the day. Yeah, I'm pretty tired. I might devote the rest of this afternoon to just kind of hanging out at camp. There are some darker clouds appearing in the sky, so it may start raining again. Just kind of want to make sure I get camp set up. But it is a absolutely beautiful lake. Okay, got camp all set up. And looks like the sun is just about to go behind that huge rock wall over there. So we're about to lose sunlight. I did get everything dried out, so that's good. So yeah, I got a little bit of weather coming in. Looks like we might get some significant rain, at least for a little bit. As these clouds keep moving in. So I did get a nice couple hours or so in the tent, just hanging out, watching some videos and resting. Fell asleep a little bit a couple times here and there. And I'm down here at the food preparation area, just kind of cooking up a hot dehydrated meal. It has just started sprinkling, and it looks like some pretty dark clouds are rolling in as we speak. So I'm probably just gonna wait for my meal to cook, eat it pretty quickly, and head on back to the tent. And that'll probably be it for the night, because it looks like it's probably gonna be raining until it gets dark. Another great day here on the Rockwall Trail, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Good night. Well, good morning from Floe Lake, day 4. The lake is completely covered in fog. It rained about half the night last night, and then hasn't rained for the last few hours. So can't really see much today, but just came down to the lake just to give it one more look. So here are the bear lockers that they have in the food preparation area. Each camp has a separate area for cooking and preparing food, with bear lockers that are far away from the campsites. And this one, no, not that one. Each bear locker has a kind of a double locking mechanism. So the bear has to get through 2 lines of security. Okay, apparently I completely forgot which locker I put my food in, because it was like the 6th try. There's my little food bag and my water. So I'm gonna get these and go back to camp, have a little breakfast, and get packed up. All right, back on the trail and hiking through the foggy forest. Cool little scene of the mountain behind me there with the sun shining on it. Be curious to see if we get any more sun, but in my general vicinity, it's pretty foggy and cloudy right now. So yeah, we've been dropping down for about 1.5 miles, and it's very beautiful out here, very green and lush, but the trail's a little poorly maintained with a lot of overgrowth. So it's been a little bit slow going, although it's, you know, beautiful scenery, with the clouds and the fog hanging overhead. So very enjoyable hike, just not the easiest. Kind of got to watch my footing and duck through the overgrowth in a few places here and there. So I just finished ascending about 1,800 feet since the start of the hike. Pretty much just a series of pretty steep switchbacks cutting down the mountainside. Not the best trail, pretty overgrown, a little difficult to navigate. Beautiful scenery out here. We've got the Floe Creek down there. We've been right alongside it for the most part since we broke out of the switchbacks. And nice weather, all this fog, very beautiful. All right, so we are just finishing the last mile on the Rockwall Trail. We have done it. Looking at the Gaia GPS apps, the total stats for this trip were about 32.9 miles in total, going northbound to southbound, 9,400 feet of elevation gain and 9,700 feet of elevation lost on the trip. So if you think about it, that's like going from the top of the Grand Canyon to the bottom and back up and doing that twice. So this has been quite a strenuous trip. Definitely a bucket list trip for me, and it lived up to my expectations. It was outstanding. It was probably the most physically challenging backpacking trip I have ever done, but I did train for this trip for the last couple months, so I was able to knock it out relatively easily. I would say though, if any of you guys are considering doing this trip, make sure you're in pretty good shape, because it is not for the faint-hearted, but it is one of the most outstanding trips you could probably do in North America. So I am just making my way back to the trailhead. Gonna jump in my rental car, head over to my hotel in downtown Calgary, and probably sit in the shower for a good hour or something, because I could use a shower. And after that, I think I'm gonna order a pizza. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. So anyways, that's a wrap for this trip. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take care of yourselves, and I will catch you on the next one.